Alright, here we are, everybody. It's been a while since I've done a video, and we are at the CKNA Grand Nationals number 7. Heading out for heat number 1. We've already had a day of practice, and then practice and qualifying on this day. This would be Friday afternoon. I am running in the Legends class. We had 43 entries officially, and I believe we're starting 43 in this heat. This is my second time coming to the Grand Nationals. Last year I drove around at the back of the pack, but still had a pretty good time, and my times got a little bit better as the weekend went on. But this started out a little bit better. I qualified 22nd out of the 43, and I had a decent amount of people that weren't too far in front of me when it came to qualifying time. So I had aspirations of trying to get into the teens in this heat. Now, the way they work the weekend after each heat, like let's say you start 22 in this race and you finish 27th, you start the next heat in 27th position. But for the final, they work out some weird point system that I haven't quite figured out, and it takes in the results from your qualifying and all of your heats. So I'm starting on the outside, heading into turn 1. And I'm pretty excited, again, this is the biggest race I've been in all year when it comes to number of participants. 43 is quite a lot of folks, and these first 4 corners are all somewhat flat out, and they're crowded, and they're 90-degree turns. But we're off. We get the green, and my row goes pretty well. I'm already up next to the guy that was starting in 19th position, and I think I get around him through all these corners here. I'm able to keep it pretty clean on the inside, and I had a good head of steam. So I've knocked off a few people. I might even be up into like 18th position at this point. So I'm all excited, hey, I'm in 18th. I've got a lot of carts behind me, and I'm hanging with this pack right now. See the fellow up there with the orange helmet, number 17. He is the guy that I pitted with this year. I don't know what happened back there a little bit. Had to get on the brakes. Somebody kind of got tussled up, and 2 people get past me, so I am in 20th position. The number 34 right there, he's got his Stall Racing YouTube channel out there, so he's got quite a lot of YouTube content out there. Some of y'all watching this video might know who that is. But he was pitting right behind us, so I got to hang out with him and his family over the weekend, and they were quite hospitable and a lot of fun to hang out with. But I am currently in 20th position right now. I went back and checked the race hero data just so I knew where I was as I went through this race. And I dropped back a little bit, but I am, for the most part, able to go flat out around these corners right here, and usually I close up on people. Now, I'm basing that on the fact that sometimes I'm around the people that aren't the fastest in the group, so I may not close up on these people in front of me now because I'm a little closer to the front than I have been in the past. But I go around this corner pretty well, and I come right up on the group again. So I'm back into, I'm back about where I want to be. But we had some fun times right there. I don't know what happened in front of me. A couple people got turned around. I had to take a little trip off track, run over some cones, and a few people get past me. This puts me back into 24th position. I wasn't super duper excited about that because things were going pretty well, but we're still early in the race. This is an 8-lapper. We are still only on lap 2, so I've got 6 more laps to go, and I still have a lot of people right in front of me, which is encouraging. If I had a giant gap of space in front of me, it would not be so encouraging because you're kind of driving around in no man's land. But I'm up on the 1. I can't tell what number is right in front of the 1, but I'm hanging tough on these guys right here, and like I said, I've got 6 laps to go to try to knock off a few more positions. Again, I get to these corners pretty well, and I apologize. I did not realize that my GoPro was kind of chattering in the case, so it was making a lot of noise. But I run up on these guys, and I go for this pass right here, although the one was, he was pretty stout. His times got better over the weekend, and he moved up into the teens. So he pulls back around me, although I thought I might be able to get around him on that inside move back there. Like right there, I don't know why, you know, those little hiccups right there, they slow you down. They'll put the hurt on your lap times. And then my buddy from New York right there, Wayne Hanslick, he's got some pretty tasty barbecue sauces out there. Wiggity Wayne sauces, look them up. Was able to sample some over the weekend, but he gets past me. And so now I'm in 25th place. Through these corners, right now I can't really hear my audio, but I did kind of have to get off the gas just a little bit here and there, or drag my brake just so that I wouldn't run into these guys. And I was trying to time it so that when I came out that last left-hander right there, I had a good run and I could try to out-drag these guys down to this corner, this section right here. But the 62, I thought I was going to get past him. He got back in the gas and was able to pull around me. Again, I'm doing my best not to contact any of these people. The last thing I want to do is to get a DNF in one of these races. So you start touching people up, you never know what happens. Something bends, you rip a valve stem off your tire, you get a flat, all kinds of good stuff can happen. So touching people is, I'm leaving that out right now. So I didn't press it too hard trying to get around the 62. Now right there, this is another place where it's really hard to get around people. People aren't used to trying to drive through there two across or two abreast, and usually you're going to get some contact. Now right there, holy smokes, I about drilled that dude. I don't know what happened there. He got off the gas pretty good, and I about plowed into him. But again, you know, that screws up your momentum. But I was able to get him right here. So I'm back in the 24th position. I think we're about 3 or 4 laps in. I kind of lost track while I was talking. But once I kind of break free of the 62, I'm able to reel these next two cats in pretty good. The number one, he got around him and he took off. Like I said, he was pretty quick most of the day, or most of the weekend. So the Legends class, if you're an old guy watching this video right now, I believe was 50 and over. And again, we had pretty good turnout. 43 people's registered. We weren't the largest class, but I don't think we were the smallest either. Some of the senior classes came in, you know, over 60 or 70 entrants. There's like a senior light division, a senior medium division, and a senior heavy division. And I think all 3 of them had to be broken into 2 heats. So I've got these 2 guys on my sights. I'm pretty confident that I can get around them. I'd watched other people do this move right here, and it seemed to work. My cart handled well through there, and I was able to pull off that inside move. And then coming up here, I was a little surprised. The 48 actually, I think it's right now, I get a good run right through here, and he gives me some room and lets me by on the inside. I have had people not give me room on that inside, and you don't want to drive over that curb directly. So now I've got a decent amount of open track in front of me, and I'm back up in the 22nd position. I almost got a little sloppy right there, but I held it on the track. I'm just going to basically pop forward to the last lap here in just a second, because nothing really happens for about the next 2 or 3 laps. I drive around by myself. I do get my fastest lap times. Last year I ran in the 117s most of the time, and on the last day I did get into the 116s for a couple of laps. This weekend I was able to drive pretty consistently in the mid 116s. I did qualify in the 1:15s just barely. That was my goal, to get into the 1 minute 15 second range. So I was able to get that squared away. And I didn't mention I am driving on a newer to me kart. It's I think it's a 2018 Ricardo kart. It's basically a Burrell AM29, and it does handle pretty good. I was enjoying it. It goes straight down the track. My old Arrow always seemed to pull to the right, no matter what I did. None of those issues exist with this Ricardo kart. And I'm not sure if it's Ricciardo kart or Ricardo kart. I don't know. If I go by the spelling, I want to call it Ricciardo kart, but leave a comment. Let me know how you pronounce it. But I'm coming around. I'm able to hold out on the 22nd place on this, so for me, that's all good, especially after I had that little off-track excursion. I was able to still pull in a 22nd, basically right where I started. So in my next video, I will start heat number 2 in 22nd position, and we will see how it goes from there. Thanks for watching, and everybody have a good one.